Welcome to the Profit by Design podcast, and I am joined today by Kaitlyn Beaver, our How to Hire the Best strategist. Thank you so much for being here today, Kaitlyn.
Of course, I'm so excited to join you today.
Well, our topic for discussion today is why A players need other A players. So I am so thrilled to have you in this discussion because when your team member is burned out, it doesn't just affect their productivity, it affects their lives and their relationships. So we received an email from a team member this morning who works at a company in our coaching program who is very excited about being involved in the How to Hire the Best program. She absolutely loves the business owners. She's been a team member for 10 years, yet she is burned out. She shared that this is affecting her life and her personal relationships. Kaitlyn, this is mind-blowing. She has never gone on a full vacation. She shared only one time she took a full week off, and this was for medical reasons. I mean, just stop and think about that. 10 years without a true vacation. And I know for a fact she's showing up working sick because I just had a conversation with the business owner earlier this week, and she shared that this team member was texting at night and then went into the office sick the following morning because there wasn't someone else that could do the things that that needed to get done. This is just heart-wrenching. The light is, she also shared, because of being a part of the How to Hire the Best program, she's thankful because she is dedicated to turning this around with her employer, and she sees the hard work that they're doing, all of the support that they're receiving, all of the support they're giving her and other team members, and now she finally feels like she will be able to take time off work.
That is so exciting. And she's not alone. We hear about A players coming to us every week saying, thank you. We are so excited that you're implementing all of these incredible strategies because you are helping us to create work that supports life, not the other way around.
Yeah, I suspected that you were hearing that repeatedly. And I just want to share a personal story of what can happen if you don't nurture your A players and surround them with other A players. And full disclosure here, if you don't already know it, Kaitlyn is my daughter. So she's been on this life journey with me. So in 2004, I almost died. I spent 2 months in the hospital. I went back to work the day after. I couldn't even fully stand up straight and walk. However, the owner of the company shared with me that she needed me to come back to work. So I really felt like if I didn't go back, my position would be filled. I did end up jumping right back in, doing my best. And after 5 years, I was back in the hospital again. And at this point, I dealt with issues, had another surgery that could possibly have been prevented if I would have just simply taken a little bit more time off that I really needed. However, in this scenario, the business just was not set up to support me. So eventually what happened? I left and I started my own business. Kaitlyn, our business owners tuning in and the business owners in our Better Business, Better Life program are truly legacy builders. They want to grow their companies to pass it on, whether that's to their children, the next generation, or in some cases, other team members. We heard from one of our clients just this morning, I want to grow this business so that it can be passed on to my team, following my vision, if that's what they want to do, should the unexpected happen. So I'm just curious. I know this was difficult. So when this happened, you were actually in 4th grade. so you were old enough to really understand what was happening. How did it feel looking back now, watching me jump right back into work, coming home with absolutely nothing left in my tank to give? How did that affect your work ethic? Like, what beliefs did that instill in you?
My first memory of work was not me at work. My first memory at work was, I remember being at the preschool that you were running. And I remember walking into the bathroom and you being curled up, not feeling well. And in that moment, I watched you pick yourself back up off the floor, take a deep breath, and go right back to work. For me, that taught me how hard I needed to work to make a buck. It taught me work is transactional. It taught me the more that you give, the more that you get. My first job was before I could even drive. I was a nanny. And I loved I have always had a servant heart. I've always liked to help others. But from that moment on, I added a second job and a third job, sometimes a fourth job. And I really just threw my whole self into work. My identity was work. And when people asked me or would meet me, they would ask a few questions to get to know me, but it always went back to work. I would show up to work with my full self, no matter what I was experiencing. And a couple years ago, I found myself in a role that it got me so excited because I was able to be creative and do the things that I had wanted to do. But over time, I had given so much, not taken enough time off, not protected my boundaries. And I got to a place where I was wearing a heart monitor because we were all trying to figure out what's going on with Kaitlyn. And so in that moment, I knew I had to make a change. And so I can proudly say I'm a recovering workaholic. I'm not totally there yet. I still struggle with work that supports life and the culture that we're building. It's not easy every day. And I think that when we talk about work that supports life, some of you A players out there may be thinking, oh my goodness, that's a lot. I came from corporate. What do you mean? Or I came from a different background, different industry. And I don't know what that means. And over time, I have shifted that mindset with the support of everyone on the team at Tap the Potential. And I see business owners who say, no, there is another way. But going back to that memory and thinking about who I was and how that shaped me, I would say I was burned out at probably 22 and really had to make some changes in my life to find alignment in the work that I was doing, and had to go on a pretty long journey of trying to deconstruct those values. It didn't mean that I didn't appreciate the way that you showed up. I mean, your work ethic is unlike any that I have ever. When you put your mind to something, you are all in. I can be all in, right? But I can also take time to fill my cup, set boundaries around work, unplug so that I can show up that much better for our team, for our clients, our customers. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
Deconstructing.
Absolutely. I grew up in a culture that said the harder you work, the more successful you are, and you just need to stay busy. Yes. And busy is really good. And what we have learned over the years is that busy doesn't mean successful.
Mhm.
So now we work this 25-hour work week with Tap the Potential, and we know that the things that we are doing is not busy work. We prioritize the most important things. We focus on that 20% of things that's going to move the needle forward.
Right.
So thank you so much for sharing, Kaitlyn. I think it's really important that as business owners, we remember that our children are watching our actions. So it's not just about what we say. When you're picking up that phone at 7 o'clock at night to read an email, or you're calling a team member to handle something, your children are seeing that. So I appreciate you for being really super vulnerable. That's not easy. Let's talk about what A players need in a really sustainable work environment. So when you have this team of A players, it means creating a culture where everyone can rely on one another. So not one person is stretched too thin, and that everything is prioritized, including rest. So we need time and space for our minds and our bodies to rest. So Kaitlyn, I'm curious, can you give me any example of what you experience now in our culture where you feel completely supported?
We have a coaching culture. Everyone on our team is kind and curious. We are always trying to understand before we seek to be understood. And I think that everyone on our team values that. When we have a challenge, whether it's a personal or a professional challenge, there's no person on this team that I could not go to and seek support and guidance on. It doesn't mean everyone on the team is a coach. Spoiler alert, not all of us are. But we come at things with kindness and curiosity, and we lead with love and curiosity. And again, a lot of that is based and rooted in our immutable laws and our core values. So because we have A players on our team, our A players have those core values. And that's what we see. And I could say the same about other aspects or other examples that have come to mind for me. But all of us have these immutable laws, these core values, and the way that we show up, they align. And I feel like everything is just figure outable. I really do. And we have a team that has different backgrounds, different strengths, but we all find ways to support each other based on what our strengths are.
Sure.
And all of us are pretty crystal clear on how to be a gift from our gifts. And if we would not have every individual or unique person on our team, we wouldn't operate the way that we do.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And I know that if I was going through a personal challenge, I finally feel like I'm at a place, I'm in a business, in a company, and with a team, and even with clients and customers who totally understand and have my back. And I think sometimes we get lost in those tangible perks as business owners, but just some of the things I talked about right now, we're identifying core values, finding and attracting team members who have those core values so that they work well together and can support one another.
How does it change your personal life when you work with a company that cares about what's important to you?
So this brings up a lot of emotions for me. I believe that I am who I am today because at work,
Everyone has taken a vested interest in not only my professional success, but my personal success. And because of that, I've had an opportunity to transform my entire life. My everyday looks the complete opposite of what I ever could have possibly imagined. I show up every day doing what I love with the people that I love. And I am loved and valued and supported for the individual that I am and the value that I have to tap the potential. I believe that stepping into a leadership role, 2 leadership roles on the team. For those of you who may not know, I'm the How to Hire the Best strategist. I'm also our sales and marketing team lead. This transformation of me feeling more empowered to lead and grow with the company while honoring our sweet spot, while making sure that we're hitting our key results. It's incredible to be able to grow with a company and for them to see things in you, people around you to see things in you that you may not always see yourself. And this journey has all been possible because of that support.
Yeah. So when I think of how you show up at Tap the Potential and how you may have showed up at another company, it really makes me think of something that I talk to and with our business owners all the time while coaching them, and I'm sure you do as well, Kaitlyn. A lot of business owners can't recognize the A player potential. Maybe they started with you and they were an A player, and all of a sudden it feels like that falls off. Or they come in and they're not taking the initiative that you want them to take. A lot of times, this goes back to making assumptions. It could be systems that aren't set up that makes it challenging for your A player to show up and for A players to work with other A players because they don't have what they need to work well together. The other thing is when you are in extreme burnout, as the team member is that we shared, it's not possible to show up and be 100%. You may desire to, but you are so exhausted mentally, maybe physically, that it's not possible to show up and reach your full potential as a team member.
Right.
So this sometimes appears and manifests in ways where we believe that we don't have an A player on our team, or that team member's performance has gone down and we're never going to get it back. So what we want to do is let go of assumptions and really look with an open mind and a learner mindset, and just start asking ourselves some powerful questions, like what's possible and really what's working. What does this team member need to be successful? And then asking your team members team members who aren't used to being asked coaching questions or having one-on-one meetings like we teach you to do, going to feel in the beginning like they're coming in the principal's office and they're probably not going to open up to you. So there's trust that has to be built on both ends. But I want to make very clear, if you're burned out as a business owner, most likely your team members are too. So I want you to think about how the business is affecting your life. If you're sitting at home looking at your emails, you're talking to team members, you're planning out your next day, I guarantee there's someone on your team doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That time is being taken away from their rest. It's valuable time with their family. It's time for them to really support themselves, nourish, and rest and relax so that they can show up and give you 100% of themselves. So A players really need that sustainable work environment. And leaders lead by example. So as business owners, we set the tone for work-life balance. If we constantly push ourselves past our limits and we're not taking care of our health, if we're not taking time off, if we're sending out emails after hours, we're sending the message to our team members that overworking is acceptable and desirable.
Mm-hmm.
As a business owner, show your team members that it's okay and you want them to rest and recharge and spend time outside of work, fully focused on their families and doing the things that they enjoy doing, because this is going to prevent burnout. Kaitlyn, what are some steps that you can share? I know you have been on a health journey for a while.
Yeah.
What are some things that you do to recharge?
Lately, I have been exploring yoga, and I have been taking more time to hit the pause button.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking a pause here and there to be reflecting on what's going on around me, to be tuning in and being fully present for the things that are going on around me. And the best way that I know how to do that is to set up routines in my life at night and in the morning that I'm doing each day. Sometimes I throw in a couple of different things here or there, but I've really dialed in what my daily routine is that will help me to show up and support our clients and customers in the best way that I can. So it doesn't have to be health or fitness related like yoga. I fully believe that showing up each day for yourself, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes in the morning and for 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the day, to just take a deep breath. There's so much power in the pause, and ask yourself, what are you celebrating today?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I learned at Tap the Potential. And I've embodied that and I've incorporated that into my daily life. And it really helps to ground me and prevent that burnout. But I would say when I was in a place of burnout, the first thing that I did was just set some boundaries. I told myself, this is when I'm going to turn off my brain. This is the same time every day I'm going to turn off my brain. And if I can start there and take back my time a little bit, even take weekends off, doing things like that, slowly but surely got me to a place where I could identify a routine that actually works for me.
One thing that we can do for our team members to build a work supports life culture is to be invested in their personal goals. Mm-hmm. And that means celebrating wins with them. That means asking them what their dreams are. What are their professional goals? What are their personal goals? Mm-hmm. We have an A-player development course, a plan. And Kaitlyn, can you speak to that? What is that, and how can our listeners get this resource?
Our A-player development course was an answer to questions that Dr. Sabrina has been getting over the last 20 years at Tap the Potential. It's business owners who come in and they say, I have this A-player. They're a rock star. I'm at a place where I want to mentor them. I want them to grow with me, and I want to give them opportunities to help me understand what it is that they care about. Mm-hmm. So that we can align their career pathway with the growth of the company. Mm-hmm. And so this A player development course is an opportunity for A players and business owners alike to have a tool that they can bring in to their one-to-ones to really start diving deeper into what are your core values? What are your immutable laws and how do they align with ours? What are your career goals? And that's a big question sometimes. Not enough business owners ask that question. So the first time an A player hears it, they may not know exactly how to answer. But what that does is it starts to build trust, relationship, and mutual respect with your A players so that they can see that you really are taking the time to invest in what's important to them, to understand what their strengths are, and to help them grow with you. A players are 900 to 1,200% more productive than their counterparts. A players will come to your business and they will support you in ways that you couldn't even imagine was possible. One day, those A players, as we know, A players go from opportunity to opportunity. Most of the time when you are attracting an A player, they already have a position. They go from opportunity to opportunity. And for business owners, they need a document to say, look at how far you've come. Look at the trainings that we've done together. Look at the breakthroughs that we have had. And look at how your role has evolved with us over time. And that just is a breakthrough for the A player to understand and take more ownership over where they want to go, what impact they want to have on the world. So when you enter the A player development course, you'll download the tracker and you'll be taken into, and this is a spreadsheet that's already created that you can easily customize. If you don't know how to do it, go to tapthepotential.com and book your call with me because we can demo that together. And I can get you set up because most of the times our business owners will come to me and say, I love this. This is so good. I want to be an employer of choice. Where do I find the time to meet with my A players? And I say, guess what? We have a spreadsheet that can help them document the steps that they're taking. And we have a course that is designed with 6 videos at no more than 13 to 15 minutes for the A player to watch. When your A player team member watches this, they are able to take that tracker and bring it in to your check-ins. And they're able to start sharing or asking questions of you. My favorite part of the A player development course is a testimony that I received earlier this week. And it was someone who said, I feel that this company wants to see me be successful and thrive. This is so cool. You mean to tell me I get to take ownership of my training and development and I get to talk about what my goals are and you're going to help me to figure out how I can grow with you? Oh my goodness, that's exciting. Oh my goodness, I've never seen this before. So this is a course that is designed to support our business owners who feel stretched, who feel overwhelmed, and know that they have A players and want to invest that time in them, but maybe don't know where to get started. We can support with that. We can absolutely support with that. And that is what this course is designed to do. So like I said, go to tapthepotential.com and book your call with me so that I can share more about this course. It is free.
Wow.
This is a resource that more business owners and even leaders, if you're a leader, maybe you don't own the business, you can still be in this course. This is really designed to help you build more of that coaching culture and develop your A players.
That is a phenomenal resource that we're extending at no cost. And I love that you're offering to speak with business owners about it. It's truly life-changing. I know. So I have my 5-year annual review with Tap the Potential next week. And when we conduct performance reviews, it's so cool because there's an opportunity for the team member to rate themselves and then the business owner. And
I went through this myself. We practice what we preach. And by the way, we do give you this template in our Better Business, Better Life program, so you don't have to figure it out yourself. We have a lot of tools that we give our business owners, but I looked back at where I was just a year ago. And this performance evaluation gave me the framework to know what I needed to work on. And so for the past year, I've been working on it, and I looked back as I reviewed myself this year. I was blown away. I'm like, holy cow, I cannot believe I did all of these things. And it also built my confidence. Mm-hmm. So, and when your confidence is built, watch out for an A player who has autonomy and confidence, because they will rock your business. So I highly recommend considering implementing that with your team. Sign up for the A player development course, get that download, book a call with Kaitlyn, and let us walk you through how to get your team members and yourself out of burnout. And Kaitlyn, this conversation is so important. I want to continue it. So we're going to have a part 2 of this episode so that we can give everyone some more tips and tools for support. Because when you are in the day-to-day in the thick of this and you're burned out yourself, how in the world can you bring your team members out of burnout? So we're going to share some tools on the next episode. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and we will see you next time.